Hey friends, it's Jessica here with Violet Crown Yoga. So, this is part one of two videos I'm uploading today. As I promised, I'm going to give you some tools to incorporate rest into your life. Some of you probably already are aware of this, and this may be the first that some of you are hearing about it, but I'm doing a challenge that's 40 days of resting in the new year. So I kind of outlined this, I guess the day before New Year's Day. Just how daunting this year it feels for me to set intentions or resolutions to change myself or to make myself better. And that's the pressure that we get every year. It's like, what's wrong with you and how can you make yourself better? And I just want you to know that you are perfect as you are. 2020 was a challenging year, and you don't have to do anything now to make up for that or to make yourself better. If you want to, that's great, but if you're not feeling that, then you have permission to not do that. I actually just finished a 40-day challenge where I did, it was leading up to the new year. My challenge was to do a 40-day asana practice. So not teaching that much virtually anymore. I'm actually not getting a ton of yoga in. So that was really lovely to get on my mat and move my body every day. And I talked to some of my students about possibly doing a challenge moving into the new year, and we kind of hinted on the asana thing, but I was like, I'm just tired. 2020 wiped me out. The holidays wiped me out. Cedar kills me every year. I'm a little bit on top of it with my allergy medicine this year, but I'm tired. And there was a talk that we had with Mantra Yoga Collective talking about rest as a form of resistance. It was inspired by the Nap Ministry, who I highly recommend that you follow on Instagram and or Facebook. That just talks about making space for rest. The more we rest, the more energy we have to focus on what is really important. So I don't know, I've been one where times in my life I feel really guilty for resting and or for napping, though sometimes I really love naps. There's been a period of my life where I did some studying in Mexico and we had a siesta every day, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but I wish that every society in the world could acknowledge that space just to allow yourself to be restored throughout the day. So here we are. I hope you can join me in this 40-day challenge. I started on New Year's Day, so the past 2 days I've napped in the afternoon. I didn't post about it. I feel like I should, but then I'm like, that kind of counteracts the fact that I should be resting because I'm worrying about social media. So I'm not going to be on here every day. I'll probably have tips throughout the week, but every Sunday I will offer a little practice to help guide you. So if rest is foreign to you and you're like, I don't even know what to do or how to start, like if you're resistant to getting in bed and napping, that's totally fine. So here's some ideas for resting if you don't want to take a nap every day. So for me, what it's going to look like is I'm going to try to set aside some time every afternoon for like a siesta. Whether that incorporates sleep or not is fine. One day, 2 days, the first day I napped. Second day yesterday, I read a little bit and kind of dozed for a few minutes. I am fully aware that I won't have a long period of time every single day to do this. So I'm going to allow myself to have a minimum of 5 minutes of space that I acknowledge as rest. So that may be just having a warm cup of tea and acknowledging to myself that this is a rest. But it could look like yoga nidra practice, which that's my second video today, which is kind of a guided meditation that may put you to sleep, which is fine. It could be a nap. It could be some time that you read or craft. And I want to be a little bit cautious with crafting because I feel like some of that is more effort than others. But if you have like needlework or maybe like whittling, something that you can do where you're just seated and don't have to move a lot, not getting a bunch of like supplies out. I was going to do needlework the other day, but then I realized I had to like iron on a decal on this thing. And I was like, it's too much effort now. But once I get that set up, I will count that as a resting activity also. You could do Shavasana. If you're new to yoga, that's just our final resting pose, resting on your mat or the floor. You could do legs up the wall, which is a really great rejuvenative, is that a word? I think it is. Restorative pose. That's very balancing. So it can, if you're feeling wired and antsy, it kind of helps calm you down. If you're feeling really lethargic, it kind of helps wake you up. So it's a great pose to bring balance into whatever you need in the present moment. So I'm rambling a little bit. So 40 days, I want to do it for 40 days. I learned in my very initial yoga teacher training that it takes 40 days to make or break a habit. And I know that there are different schools of thought on that. There are some things that I've seen that say 20 days or 30 days, but I've done several, I don't know how many 40-day challenges throughout my career as a yoga teacher. My first one was like 40 days brushing my teeth with my left hand, which is much harder than you might imagine, or it may be as hard as you imagine. It feels really awkward at first. There's a kid outside my door. But you get used to it, and just the practice of doing something different every day, it rewires the neural pathways in your brain. I want to say the most effective 40-day challenge I've ever had was I did one several years ago to make my bed. So for like 40 years of my life, I did not make my bed. I mean, maybe once a year. But I make my bed every day now. So that like stuck with me. And then this past year, I did it leading up to the new year last year. I did it midway through last year. And then I did it again leading up to this new year. Different things. I think the first two challenges I did, I incorporated meditation, which has stuck mostly. And then now that I've done this asana practice, it may be just like 1 minute of asana a day, but that counts. So yeah, 40 days. You'll see that. I mean, you see it in Lent. You'll see it in other religious philosophies as well, the number 40 days. So you didn't have to start on New Year's Day. If you haven't started yet, that's fine. I would just encourage you to try it for 40 days from whenever you begin, or maybe you hop in and out. Maybe it's just a reminder, you see me on here and you're like, oh yeah, I need to rest. And maybe that's just permission enough to know that resting is good. We don't have to be productive 100% of the time. It does not degrade your worth. I know that in our society, we often think our worthiness is based on our level of productivity, but that's false. You being human, you surviving, that's what matters. And, maybe it feels good to be productive. And that's fine, but I don't know. I find myself just feeling really guilty about not meeting certain standards that our society, I don't know, requires of us. So rest, and just see how much more productive that you may be. Make sure I've covered everything I want to talk about. So following this video, I have I think it's about 22 minutes of yoga nidra, which is sometimes referred to as yogic sleep. So you may fall asleep while you're doing it. I'm okay with that. Some teachers prefer you to stay a little more conscious, but if you really need sleep, your body will sleep. And I say get that. And it's a practice where you usually feel pretty rejuvenated afterwards. I was going to say usually, but all the time. And it can help you. It's really great for people who have insomnia or who struggle to get enough sleep. I'm not going to say it makes up for the 8 hours you're supposed to have a night. I have different opinions about that too, but it can help get past that hump if you're having a hard time sleeping. It's really good for new moms who don't sleep very often. Many world leaders have practiced this because they don't sleep very often. So let me know what you think. I would love for you to join in on this challenge. So I'm going to do it from January 1st to February 9th. That's my trajectory. You can start at any time that you need to. Share with your friends, anyone you think may benefit from this. Every Sunday between now and then, I'm going to add a new practice. So it may be yoga nidra. I may do some I know a kid's gonna walk in here. Some pranayama, some breath work. So I'll just give you different tools to incorporate or to help promote resting. And I hope you benefit from this. So please share any feedback that you have. Thank you.